Oh, people, my goodness. How weird was that? Oh, my goodness. That was bizarre. Okay. I've never experienced anything like that. If you're still with me, amazing. That was so weird. Okay. I don't want to be thinking that I got hacked or we got hacked, but I've never experienced anything like that. So I'm glad to be back on a new live, and all my people are probably still tangled up on the old one. But I'm going to go ahead and just kind of finish out what I had started. What a freaking mess. Um, it's just completely insane. So, CNY has been doing a lot of research on this cult stuff, and Squirrels on Fire, as you guys know, and T Rev, who just changed his name to True Crimes and Rhymes, T Rev 757. Hey, Shelby. Holy cow, I've made a live. Shelby, it's just me and you. This is weird. Well, so I was on a live. I had, my normal like 70 people in the chat, and it all just came to a screeching halt. And so now we're getting some people coming back. Woo, good to see you back. I'm here as well. LOL. Well, thanks, you guys. It could be that I was just having technical difficulties. I've never experienced anything like that. It's hard to say. I think that a lot of content creators covering this same material are having all kinds of bizarre things happen with their technology. So who knows? Who knows? If we are onto something crazy, then it would make perfect sense that stuff like that is happening. Working good now. Well, technical difficulties, wink, wink. Okay. Oh, all right. So I just wanted to wrap up. I was getting close to closing up my live earlier when the whole thing froze up, and it looked like the chat kept going and going. It said that the internet connection was gone, but then I fixed that and it was still troublesome. So finally I was not able to end the live. It just was saying that it was going and going, but the camera wasn't. I kept trying to jump back in and it just wouldn't allow it, and it wouldn't allow me to end it. So finally I was able to end that live and start this new one. So again, just trying to wrap up where we left off. This is very concerning, and I'm really glad to put this in the video because I didn't have it in there and I might have forgotten to put it in if we didn't have that big interruption. There's a GoFundMe account for Trinity Bacchus's family, and that is specifically for her ex-stepdad and her biological mom and her step sibling or siblings. I think it's more than one. The ex-stepdad, who might be mom's current squeeze, makes $200,000 a year as a deputy sheriff, which is a lot. A lot. Deputy sheriffs usually generally make not six figures, and then they can bump it up into mid six figures with overtime. So, that's a lot. That makes me think that there's a lot of overtime, like maybe more than 40 hours a week. Sounds like the true crime community here are stepping onto some sensitive toes lately. Could be. I commented that you started a new live. Oh, thank you, Rana Jane. I appreciate that. Zena, I hope you're able to go back and read the post in the chat. It's important. I absolutely will. Absolutely. So that GoFundMe for Trinity's family is a yellow flag or a red flag. Trinity having a car that it sounds like was at Aunt Ashley's house when she ran away to get away from the radiation. her mom says that she's never done drugs and that she doesn't do drugs, that she's on the straight and narrow. So who knows? I was also concerned that Trinity's biological father didn't even follow her on social media. I thought that was really uncool. And he made this statement in one of the interviews where he said, "My heart is all over the place. My head is all over the place." And I thought that was weird. I mean, maybe he just misspoke, but it's like your heart is like, you know where your heart is. It's crushed. Of course, your head's going to be all over the place, but your heart being all over the place, I just thought that was a really odd thing to say. But like I said, maybe he just misspoke. Um, so Ashley wearing the robe that she had initially reported that Trinity ran out of the house in. Also, the 911 call allegedly was made at 10:20, according to 911. According to Ashley, 11:30 was when she got home, and 11:30 was when she got to bed, and then 11:30 was when she told, I'm sorry, 10:30. Misspeaking, brain fried from that whole technology problem. Anyway, back to that. Ashley told biological dad that Trinity was wearing the robe, the maroon robe that's in the photograph that Trinity took, the selfie in the mirror with what looks like a black eye. And then Brandon, the biological dad's sister, was at Ashley's house the next day talking to Brandon on the phone, telling him that Ashley was presently wearing that same maroon robe that she had claimed Trinity left the house in. Ashley also claimed that she got home at 10:30. Simultaneously, she was trying to find Trinity to tell her that it was time for bed at 10:30, and Trinity ran out of the house at 10:30. I believe the 911 call is clocked in at 10:20. That could be inaccurate, but it sounds fishy. It sounds like some really weird inaccuracies. So, I said a couple of days ago that the problem with narcissists is that they don't care how many lives they ruin to try to save their own asses. And I feel like those words are kind of coming to fruition with these narcissists out there in Nevada County and Placer County that run the sheriff departments and other narcissists that live in the area that are involved in this crap. And they don't care how many lives they ruin. They just don't give a damn about anybody but themselves. It's all about, number one, it's all about money. It's all about their own gratification. And it's just disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. So both of these girls, Trinity and Kylie, both died in the Tahoe National Forest. It's my understanding that they were both either in the Tahoe National Forest or very close to the Tahoe National Forest. I'll have to look at the map again. We know that Kylie was in the national park land in Prosser Creek, Prosser Family Campground. Trinity, it looks like, either was in the national forest land or very close to it there in Nevada City. So there's an element of white supremacy too with this cult activity that CNY has been looking at that doesn't surprise me in the least. The whole town of Truckee has like the lowest percentage of non-whites that I've ever seen in my life. I think it was like 1%. And half of that, so 0.5%, was Black and 0.5 was other. Okay, thank you. Abandoned 911 call was first contact at 23:15. Okay, that would be 11:15, right? That's good to know. Word of advice, don't piss off our ladies of true crime. They will find you. Too funny. I think the lodge is where the cult meets. I have a really bizarre picture from inside the lodge that is really haunted and cult-like. I'll see if I can dig it up and use it for a thumbnail. Oh my gosh, weird timing, and I thought I was just catching the beginning. I have seen numerous lives get funky, especially in the last week. We mustn't stop poking around, though. I think we're getting somewhere. I agree. And yeah, I certainly am not going to be backing off of this. I want to continue to focus on Kylie Rodney. The Trinity Bacchus case is looking more and more like it's actually overlapping. At first, I thought maybe it was just peripherally connected, being that they were the same age and the same geographical area and the same physical beauty, same green eyes, same skeezy boyfriends. I mean, they have two different boyfriends, but they're both skeezy, in my humble opinion. Um, you know, a lot of skank activity with this sad, sad, devastating story. I wish it would have a better outcome. Of course, this is crazy, but the best possible outcome that could happen with Kylie's case, and probably with Trinity's too, is that they're not dead, that they were just kidnapped and they're in human trafficking. I mean, that's best case scenario, right? It would be awesome if they're alive, but first of all, I don't believe that they are. I think that they are deceased. I think that they probably were trying to get away from some crap and they probably knew too much, and that they probably were both just strong women. And, that's a dangerous thing in a lot of places in our world, right? Not just the Lake Tahoe area or Northern California. Extremely wealthy one percenters do have astral beliefs and full connection within it. Yep, that's that's what CNY is hitting on. So she's probably having a lot of technical difficulties. Oh my. So I want to read a few more of your comments and then wrap up because it is getting late in the day. I don't think I did my timestamp earlier. So it's right now it's 2:28. It is November 15th. It's Tuesday. And wow, cray. Also, if you don't mind hitting the like button, sharing, subscribing if you feel so moved. Victims of jealousy, Kaylee says, and I would believe it. My heart goes out to these families, really, truly goes out to the families of both victims. However, I am extremely suspicious of both families. I hate to say that. I really, really don't like to say that, but I mean, it's just blaring. It's right in your face with Trinity. It looks like her mother was probably very jealous of her. Trinity was taller, she was thinner. Her mother seemed to like to take pictures next to her in their bikinis quite a bit, and Trinity did not seem to like it. If you look at a few of these photos online, it's pretty appalling to me as a mother of uh, a young woman that looks a lot like I looked at that age. And I would not dream of having any competitive feelings with her whatsoever. It's just so disturbing. And, the men around these girls, I mean, Kylie's stepdad, and then all of these like baby daddy types in Trinity's world, really, really appalling. Obviously, they don't know how to protect a teenager from dying. Pronounced Aza true, just being helpful, not picky. Thank you. Aza true. Aza true. Okay, got it. Oh, let's see. There were a couple other good ones. It seems too obvious that this poor girl was running not from a bad trip, from a terrifying life. Right. And probably running from, who knows, some, maybe some sexual abuse was happening, or she was afraid it was going to happen, perhaps. Who knows? I'm very, very suspicious of Ashley Bajorkland, I think is how you say the fake aunt's name. And I'm telling you, the biological mom and Ashley and all their friends on social media, they all look like the Stepford Wives, kind of Handmaid's Tale, kind of like Call Girls Club. And that would make sense that they would call each other's kids their nieces and nephews, and that they would then be trying to recruit their kids into the Stepford Wives hell, basically. Um, it really looks like a trafficking ring to me. And I guess we'll just wrap it up on that. Oh, so sad. So maybe a prayer for all of our safety and wellness and cracking this freaking case. Praying for the souls of the lost lives. My baby girl's 13 going on grown. How could I not be invested in these types of cases? Yeah. Well, and yeah, having grown up in a good fair amount of my life in Southern California, I'm very aware of this whole section of California lifestyle. I mean, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. But even back in the 80s, it was going on in the Los Angeles area. And thank goodness I did not get ensnared into that nightmare. It's really, really a miracle. Sending light and love to all. So, again, thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to wrap it, and prayers for the families, prayers for the victims, prayers for all the good people that are trying to find justice for these people. And thank you for joining me. Please take good care of yourself, stay safe, stay healthy, drink your water, stay hydrated, eat your protein, your fruits, your veggies, get your exercise, stretch, get your rest. The people that are working really hard on digging and researching this case currently, I think, are having a lot of trouble just putting it down and getting rest, because it is just such an overwhelming nightmare. So, on that, peace out, sending light and love to all. I really appreciate you guys, and I will see you in the morning once again on another live. We'll keep at it, right?